the way he spoke, the words he used. He just wanted to be his own self and was very firm in his foundation as on the Indian civilization. So I think it's kind of very premature to sort of equate Obama with some kind of Gandhi at this point. I mean, he would have to go through many decades of hard work and against established ways of thinking and against the established order and institutions rather than becoming part of it. You know, Gandhi didn't want to, he tried bringing change from within the British Empire. First, he was not against it. He tried that. But his best came out when he would really give it back to them and wanted nothing to do with them and wanted to actually topple that order. So, you know, I would have a hard time, no matter how much Obama can quote Gandhi, and no matter, and I think he should be encouraged to take on some of these ideals. But I would have a hard time equating that, you know, a young man in his early 40s has become a kind of a Gandhi without having really achieved anything yet.
So I mean, this is interesting. You said that Gandhi initially tried to work within the system. Of course, Gandhi never took a position of any stature in his life other than being barrister for some time. He refused to take any political office. Obama obviously is taking, he has taken the highest office in this country and most powerful.
There's a big difference there. If you are part of institutionalized power and you are having to work within the game, you know, whether you're passing laws in the Senate and you have to work in the game, whatever it is, you're part of the institutional mechanism. Gandhi was a total anarchist in that sense. I mean, he just didn't want to, he wanted ideas that reached the people directly, bypass all these institutions of any kind. He didn't even want the Congress party to become a political organization after independence. Nehru is the one who made it into a political party. He wanted it to be a grassroots movement of people. So what we have is one giant in empowering people, the poorest people at the grassroots level, and not wanting to take on any position for himself in the institutions of power and authority. And on the other hand, you have somebody who is the president of the largest institution of power in the world. So I think even though there may be resemblances in ideas and motives, but the method of going about doing it is very different in the two cases.
And I'm a bit encouraged by, you said that Gandhi also started within the British system.
Yes.
Could Obama evolve into coming out of the White House and say, well, you know, I'm just going to do completely Gandhian way of...
that is for Obama, but I think this Nobel Prize is kind of golden handcuffs to, you see, because the more you accept all these things, the more difficult it is to really go against established way of thinking. Because the problem the world is facing are not very easy to solve within the established way of thinking.
Is this you think this is a psychological problem? After a while it becomes in your psyche that you got this, now you got this, and your ego goes up?
Yes, it is the ego, the motive is to feed your ego and kind of get you on one side. You know, the people who own the greatest awards, whether it's Nobel, Pulitzer and all kinds of other prizes, all the way down to ordinary awards that are given in universities or various places, you know, they are doing it because it gives them influence. And so if they have a roster of award winners who have importance, then those are their supporters, they're likely to support them. So awards is a mechanism of soft power, and this is Scandinavian countries' soft power, and generally the European soft power, the Nobel Prize.
But I mean, at least in the fields of chemistry and medicine,
there is more objectivity.
More objectivity, because there is the work is...
I would say that the Nobel Prize in physics is deserved. Maybe there are others who also deserved it, didn't get it, that's a political issue. But you won't find somebody who got the Nobel Prize that really didn't do something extraordinary. But I think when it comes to economics also, many economists of tremendous repute have told me they're not sure what exactly Amartya Sen did.
Amartya Sen
who got the Nobel Prize in
1998, I believe, for economics, and he is a professor in Harvard.
More recently than that. But economics awards are also a bit political because the economic theory tends to be political. But certainly the Nobel Peace Prize is largely political.
So anyway, what do you think of...
There is also rumors that Vajpayee, the Indian former Prime Minister, wanted the Nobel Peace Prize, so that influenced his thinking. and that Manmohan Singh, the present Prime Minister, would like, there's pressure on him to solve the problems with Pakistan so that he could have his legacy as a Nobel Prize winner. These are very dangerous things, the traps to fall into, to go looking for a Nobel Prize. And also Sri Ravi Shankar has a lot of followers who would like him to get the Nobel Peace Prize, so now it affects what he can say and how he has to say it.
So the Sri Ravi Shankar being a art of living,
the head of art of living, a spiritual leader teaching meditation,
and out of India, but he goes around.
Has a huge global organization. Now these people are excellent people, they're doing good work, and they should just not be bothered by some kind of an award, you know, hanging there as a carrot. That's their best when they're on their own doing their own work. And Gandhi was not somebody that they could win over by giving him some award. And that is the quintessential Gandhi characteristic, not wanting to be part of an established order based on compromising anything.
Did he do this out of his instinct, or it is something that he developed a theory and he was following it?
100 years ago this year, he wrote a book called Hind Swaraj.
Hind Swaraj.
Hind Swaraj, so the freedom of India.
Yeah.
1909. And this deserves a lot more publicity than it's getting, because it's the centennial year of that. That about 100-page book is his analysis of the British Empire, what is wrong with it, how it sustains itself, how Indians are working for it. Even Indians who are just doing ordinary jobs in civil service are really supporting it, he felt. And he argued that was his blueprint for freedom, what all we have to stop doing which support an established order that is not a very good established order. And he had his vision on a future kind of a world which would be more decentralized, which would be more self-governed, which would be more people's power. And so he acted very consistently throughout his life based on certain principles. And one of them was he did not want to be part of the problem. He just didn't want to be, no matter what the award, and no matter how much they would hit him, arrest him, beat him up for being a rebellious guy, and he was beaten up all the time and thrown in jail so many times. But that was his way.
But is that also relevant to the rest of the world, or only the independent? Obviously, most countries are now independent. By far, virtually all the countries are independent, at least in political sense. But you think that whatever he wrote, however he thought about it, was that relevant to India, or is this something, an idea that could be relevant to many other provinces?
Well, Martin Luther King Jr. went to India in '56 and got his civil rights ideas from Gandhi. He studied Satyagraha, he stayed there for 6 months, and Reverend Jesse Jackson went on multiple trips, and that's where they became Gandhians in the sense of how to bring about the American civil rights movement in a Gandhian sense, away from Malcolm X, who wanted more aggression. So this was an example of Gandhian influence elsewhere. And Lech Walesa, who fought against communism, the Polish leader, also called himself a Gandhian and used Gandhian methods. Similarly, people in South Africa. So I think its use as a form of political civil disobedience, for action against an established order, but without resorting to violence, is quite a global kind of a thing.